For today's show, we have info on the new teacher in Miss Odua's room, news about St. Pete's very own mayor and Mayor Pete, and a story about a turtle species on the brink of extinction. What's happening in clubs?
John Hopkins tutoring is going to be from today through Thursday from 3 to 4. D&D Club is looking for some dungeon masters for next year. Elections for officers for a couple of clubs is in way. Let's see what's going on in sports.
After 6 long years, the Orlando Magic have finally made it to the playoffs, as our Bolts are now 0-3 in their quest for the Cup. Meanwhile, some of our track members are in the studio today to talk about their big meet, as our tennis team is now districts bound. Stay tuned for these stories and more on today's Fast Forward.
Good morning, Lakewood. I'm Bodie, and today is Monday, April 15th. And today is National Education and Sharing Day, so share your knowledge with the world. Now, on to your Monday morning headline news. Topping your Fast Forward headline news today, from China, the Yangtze turtle is on the verge of getting wiped out, with only 4 of them left, and over the weekend, one of those 4 passed away. The turtle named Raftis died in the Shaoxu Zoo in South China. The turtle was over 90 years old, and people used to hunt and fish for these turtles. Now we are left with just 3. In some federal news today, you have to file your taxes today. If you haven't finished filing them out, you have until just midnight tonight, unless you have an extension from the IRS. Otherwise, you need to fill out those sheets and get them in today. A 500-pound bomb dropped by the U.S. during World War II finally exploded in the Main River in the heart of Frankfurt. Yesterday, police munitions disposal crew tried to blow up its decaying detonator, but instead set off the device. The controlled explosion of the bomb, which police had determined was too volatile to be transported to shore to be defused, sent a gush of water shooting 70 feet high. St. Petersburg Mayor Rick Kreisman is sharing some strange emails that he has received. Emails clearly not intended for the mayor of St. Pete, but 2020 Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg is known as Mayor Pete, the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Buttigieg is also making history as the first openly gay candidate to run for the nation's highest office. The mixed up is somewhat understandable. Well, maybe. Mayor Pete, the presidential candidate, is getting confused with our mayor, in so such that as Kreisman's email address is mayor@stpete.org. In an age of such a divided country, you can only imagine the kind of messages Kreisman has received. Now that's it from the news desk. Time to pass it over to Julian with the rest of our Lakewood news.
Thanks, Bodie. Julian here with your Lakewood news. To start things off, you might be wondering, who's the new intern taking over in Miss Odua's class while she's gone? Intern Josh Cummings was teaching with Mr. Mazinski for a couple months, and he was ready to take over AP Bio and Bio 1 honors. He had the decision to go to Lakewood or Largo, and he decided to go here. He said in his interview, "I choose Lakewood because I've been to several schools, and I never have really been able to come down this way, and I'm very thankful." He came on early release from St. Pete College and was an ex-prison worker. If you have any other questions regarding him, he's open to talking in Miss Odua's class. Spartans, it's time of the year to start thinking about becoming a student leader, an STA, or class officer. Email applications have been sent to parents by Ms. Savage, so make sure to get them from your parents if you're interested. If you do not have access to a printer, you can pick up an application from Ms. Thomas in Student Services or from Ms. Mitchell Brown in the CAT office. Applications are due Monday, April 22nd, 2019. Prom court might be in your future. The requirements to get on the court can be seen there on your screen. Prom is April 26th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tickets are available during lunch in the Media Center for the very low price of $70. Prom will be held at the Gulfport Casino. This year's theme is mythical fantasy. Now, that's all I have for your Lakewood news. Let's pass it over to Nayeli for all your club's news.
Thanks, Julian. Good morning, Spartans. I'm Nayeli here with all your club's info. Tutoring at Johns Hopkins will be held today through Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. This is a good way to get last-minute hours in before the school year ends. If you have any questions about any key club events coming up, please see Ms. Bacauda if you have any concerns. With this year coming to an end, the Dungeons and Dragons Club will need more Dungeon Masters to keep running. Please consider becoming a Dungeon Master if you're interested. Contact Darian, the current Dungeon Master, if you wish to become a new Dungeon Master. NHS parliamentary elections are also coming up. If you're interested in running, talk to Mr. Mary. Voting for officers will be coming soon, so it's now or never. Speaking of elections, Spanish Honor Society is electing its officers. The ballots have been collected and the results will be revealed at the next meeting. That's all in club's news for today. Let's head over to sports with Mahilo and see what's going on.
Thanks, Nayeli. I'm Mihailo here with your Spartan Sports. Last night, our Tampa Bay Lightning played their third playoff game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. This time around, they were down 2-0 and came back to 2-1 in the second period, but they weren't able to pull through as the Blue Jackets scored again in the third. Now, our Bolts are 0-3 in the series, but they still have a chance to come back at their next game, which will be tomorrow at 7. The first tip-offs of the NBA playoffs have started this past weekend. There were some major upsets as 4 lower-ranked seeds beat their higher-seeded opponents. One of those winners was our very own Orlando Magic. This is the Magic's first playoff appearance in over 6 years, and they came out ready to win as they beat the Toronto Raptors with a score of 104-101. The Magic are ready to make their lead in the series 2-0 as they play against Toronto again tonight at 8. As for your Spartan Sports, after losing to Osceola last Thursday, our baseball team is ready to get back in action with 2 back-to-back games today and tomorrow, with the first one being against Gibbs and the next one being against Northeast. Both games will start at 7. This past weekend, our track team had their district meet, and as always, they were outrunning the rest. Now, I bring you Ben, who has a few members of the team with him to give you more on that.
Good morning, Spartans. I'm Ben Nguyen, and I have your coverage of the track event this weekend. Here I have Shadeen, who does hurdles, Willie, who does triple jump, and Jack, who does 800-meter run. So, how well did you do at your event this weekend?
I did relatively well. I placed first in my individual events, and I helped get a first in our 4x1 and a third in our 4x4.
Congratulations. And how hard did you have to work to get there?
You had to work pretty hard, going to practice every day, trying to perfect your craft and everything at practice, prepare for the next track meet.
Nice. Congratulations, man, to your hard work. And what's your competition gonna look like at regionals, Jack?
The competition we had this season didn't feel that competitive, but I know going into regionals, it's gonna be the toughest meet of the season.
All right, good luck to you, Jack, for regionals, and good luck to all of you guys at your regionals competitions, and good luck. Now back to Mahalo with your sports coverage.
Thanks, Ben. Hopefully our runners will do great at regionals and get a chance to compete at the state level. Now, let's not forget about our tennis team. After a season filled with ups and downs, today is where it matters most, as it's their first day of the district tournament. This year's districts will be held at Hillsborough Community College, and the team, led by Ben Willett, is hoping to finally end their season on a high note. And in the golf world, the buzz is all about Tiger Woods. He made a huge comeback to win the Masters yesterday. That's all I got for your Spartan Sports. Let's go back to Julian to wrap up the show.
Thanks, sports dude. Remember, there's a free STEM summer camp. It will be at the SPC Midtown campus and features health, STEM, drones, art, career exploration, and more. Make sure to see your guidance counselor if you would like to sign up. Today, we leave you with a heartwarming video that's going viral today. A mother dolphin and her baby right here in our Tampa Bay. Have a marvelous Monday, Spartans.